Happening now, breaking news. New York's Attorney General's report finds Governor Cuomo did indeed sexual harass multiple women. The latest and local reaction next. Plus, what Jamestown's mayor has to say about the COVID-19 Delta variant spread here locally.
Well, enjoy the sunshine while we have it today because it's going away for the end of the week. We'll talk about it in detail next as the news at noon starts now.
This is WNY News Now with live breaking news.
An investigation into Democratic New York Governor Andrew Cuomo found that he sexually harassed multiple current and former state government employees. That, according to State Attorney General Letitia James, who announced that this morning. Thank you for joining us for WNY News Now. I'm Justin Gould. Nearly 5 months after their investigation started, conducted by two outside lawyers who spoke to over 150 people, found that Cuomo's administration was a hostile work environment and that it was a rifle with fear and intimidation. James announced the news about an hour ago during a live press conference.
The investigators spoke to 179 individuals, including complainants, current and former members of the executive chamber, state troopers, additional state employees, and others who interacted regularly with the governor. In addition, they reviewed more than 74,000 pieces of evidence, including documents, emails, texts, audio files, and pictures. These interviews and pieces of evidence reveal a deeply disturbing yet clear picture. Governor Cuomo sexually harassed current and former state employees in violation of both federal and state laws.
On at least one occasion, the investigation found that Cuomo and his senior staff worked to retaliate against a former employee who accused him of wrongdoing. Cuomo was also found to have harassed women outside of government, the investigation found. James says the probe wouldn't have been possible without the heroic women who stepped forward.
The governor and his senior team took actions to retaliate against at least one former employee for coming forward with her story, her truth. And Governor Cuomo's administration fostered a toxic workplace that enabled harassment and created a hostile work environment where staffers did not feel comfortable coming forward with complaints about sexual harassment due to a climate of fear and given the power dynamics.
Cuomo faced multiple allegations last winter that he inappropriately touched and sexually harassed women who worked with him or who he met at public events. One aide in Cuomo's office said he even groped her breast. Another, Lindsay Boland, accused Cuomo of kissing her on the lips after a meeting in his office and said she would go out of his way to touch her on her lower back, arms, and legs. The Attorney General's report is expected to play an important role in the ongoing inquiry into the State Assembly's investigation into whether there are grounds for Cuomo to be impeached. The Assembly has hired its own legal team to investigate the conduct, plus other allegations of wrongdoing. The legislator is also looking into whether Cuomo got help from senior aides to write his book about the pandemic and into his handling of the COVID-19 nursing home issues throughout the state. Joining us live to talk more about the reaction coming in now following the investigation's announcement is Norm Green, who's running for Chautauqua County Executive on the Democratic ticket. He's also the chair of the County Democrat Party. Norm, good afternoon. Thank you for joining us on such short notice. I first want to get your reaction to the AG's announcement today.
Well, I thought it was complete. It was quick. It was swift. She put together a report that made it absolutely clear that the governor needs to resign, and I think he needs to resign today.
Yeah, absolutely. And when you look at how long this process has folded out, politics certainly were involved on several levels. However, we've seen that there have been several Democrats throughout the state who have stepped forward in calling for his resignation following this report. From you working in local politics here in Chautauqua County, do you feel that this is something someone in his position must do, and if Cuomo will move forward with that? Because he's all along has said, let's wait for the facts. Well, now we have the facts.
Absolutely, the facts are in, and I certainly was willing to give him the time that he had asked for. But it's clear now that he needs to step down. Kathy Hochul needs to be sworn in as the governor. She was elected lieutenant governor, and this is her job is to pick up when sometimes the glass breaks.
Yeah, and we've seen this movement. A lot of people go back to that Me Too movement, the Me Too era of women. And even in some cases, very rare, but men who come forward and speak out, whether it's at the government level or in private business. Here in New York, it seems like Albany, following today's report, has that culture, which we've heard from these accusers within the governor's office, of not only making this possible, inhibiting this behavior, but then covering it up as well. Going forward, is there anything that you want to see done at the state level where we could address some of the things that have been happening behind closed doors?
Well, obviously, we need to put stronger measures in place, and there has to be, a culture change, and maybe we need to elect more women, and we won't have these problems that we have with the governor. And I consider myself a close friend of the governor, and I was a close friend of his father. He did a great job as governor, but it's time to go. There's just no doubt about it.
And to that point, Norm, we've talked before. I know you've been to several events of the governor during your time in the county elections office. You've worked with him, talking to him. The news today, for you, seeing someone like this, someone who you mentioned is a friend of yours, that's got to be tough to hear.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it was just a year ago that we were saying, "Oh, gee, what job might he have? Might he be in the White House?" We were looking forward to his moving up and serving us well. But so I'm hurt, I'm saddened, I'm shocked. But the bottom line is he needs to resign today.
All right. Norm Green, Democratic candidate for Chautauqua County Executive and Democratic Party Chair, joining us live on the show today, sir. I really appreciate your time and such short notice in coming on.
My pleasure.
And certainly we will continue to follow this as we move forward. Thank you for joining us for WNY News Now. As we're covering this breaking news, if you're just joining us, New York State Attorney General Letitia James releasing a report today finding indeed that New York Governor Andrew Cuomo did sexually harass several women in his time as governor. And in fact, her investigators concluding that his staff helped cover it up. Of course, this story going to continue on throughout the next few days and into weeks as to what New York's Assembly will do. As we mentioned, they're conducting their own parallel investigation to this, and whether the governor will be impeached or if simply later today, maybe he'll come out and resign. New York State Lieutenant Governor Kathy Hochul then would take over per New York State rules and regulations. Well, now let's get a check and a change here. Our First Defense weather forecast, Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter, joining us live in studio now with that. And Dakota, not such a busy weather day out there, pretty quiet and shaping up to be a nice day for many.
Yes, it is. It's pretty quiet in the weather department, but hey, our boredom is your gain. Get out and enjoy it. Live look from the Skycam in Randolph Beaches and Cream just shows you a few of those puffy cumulus clouds. 70 degrees right now, that dew point at 52. So with the dew point relatively low, we're not having to deal with stickies today. So it's going to be another nice day. Satellite and radar picture shows you just a few of those cumulus clouds building in across the southern tier. Otherwise, that's it. We're going to be rain-free for today, but the rain will be returning as we go into tomorrow and especially into Thursday. 69 is only where we managed yesterday. 49 is where we started the day. 99 and 41 are the record highs and lows for this day. So through the afternoon, more sunshine for you. Warmer, still comfy with that southwest wind, 4 to 11 miles per hour. The high is going 73 to 78. Now we bring in a chance for a few showers and storms through the next couple of days. Then the heat and the humidity is on as we go into next week. We'll talk about it with that 7-day forecast later in the show. Justin?
All right, Dakota, we'll certainly be looking forward to that coming up in about 10 minutes' time. A 26-year-old Buffalo man is facing a slew of charges after allegedly leading police on a pursuit through parts of Chautauqua County on Sunday. New York State Police saying that Ricardo Sanchez first fled Jamestown police, who attempted to stop his vehicle on Route 60. Troopers say Sanchez then allegedly committed multiple traffic violations before they attempted to pull him over on County Route 380. Police say he failed to comply and then continued to drive on roads in the towns of Ellicott, Gary, Ellery, and Stockton before coming to a stop after hitting a deer. Sanchez allegedly displayed multiple signs of drug impairment and was subsequently placed under arrest. Inside his car, police say they found nearly a dozen Suboxone strips. After evaluation by a New York State Police drug recognition expert, it's alleged that Sanchez was driving under the influence of a narcotic and cannabis. Well, there's a new push to help connect college students with childcare here in New York State. State University of New York Chancellor Jim Malatras announced the news during a visit to SUNY JCC here in Jamestown yesterday. Malatras met with the school's president and Career Advantage Director. He says child care availability is vital to helping students and children achieve academic success. Specifically, he plans to allocate $600,000 to launch new child care programs in underserved areas like Jamestown and $500,000 to create paid internship opportunities.
Campuses are already stretched thin. They already don't have the staff and resources to do these things. I think our staff will take those areas on, so we can get childcare in places like Jamestown Community College and other places that have childcare deserts, or we're not going to be able to solve the higher education access issue.
Additionally, he says SUNY will launch a new public awareness campaign to help connect students with unused scholarship money to get proper training to lower the unemployment rate and stimulate our economy. Coming up next, a lot more to tell you about. A look at the Gary Rodeo that kicks off this week. But first, a local woman accused of shooting and killing a dog in front of her children. The details in that case when WNY News Now returns.
With coverage that matters. This is WNY News Now.
Located along the Amish Trail, the Randolph Retail Company offers a variety of clothing, jewelry, and gifts for any occasion. Offering uptown merchandise at small-town prices, our locally owned business balances quality and value. With complimentary gift wrap here at the Randolph Retail Company, we pride ourselves in service. Check out our Facebook page or stop in today at 127 Main Street, Randolph, just a 20-minute drive from Jamestown.
EagleZip.com is your local one-stop shop for all of your home and business computer needs. Located on Fluvan Avenue Extension, just outside of Jamestown, EagleZip.com sells and services all brands of desktops and laptops, as well as servers and network equipment for your business. All new computer sales include transferring your data from your old computer, plus a 2-year warranty. Call EagleZip.com today.
Stop by EagleZip.com today and let us make computers easy for you.
Have the best summer ever with endless adventures at Girl Scout Summer Camp. Financial aid available, open to all girls. For more information, call or go to gswny.org.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
Welcome back to WNY News Now. Leaders throughout the U.S. are continuing to express their concern over the spread of COVID-19, specifically that Delta variant. Well, it's being discussed here in Jamestown, too. Mayor Eddie Sundquist, speaking with our Matt Hummel following last night's work session, explains that the city is taking the situation very seriously and working with other officials in the region to talk about what's next in the fight of COVID.
We're very concerned about the Delta variant as it comes through different parts of the United States. We're watching and monitoring that very closely. If in the need to, or the event that we need to take additional actions in order to prevent the spread here in the city, we will definitely do so. But we're going to watch that very closely. We're going to work in conjunction with the county and the county's health department, as well as the state, to make sure that we're all on the same page as we deal together with the different COVID-19 variant.
Now, speaking of the state, the mayor says that he is for resuming the COVID-19 control room meetings, something County Executive P.J. Wendell is pitching as well. A Cattaraugus County woman is facing several charges after allegedly shooting and then killing a dog in front of a child last week. New York State Police say 51-year-old Jackie Harass is charged with endangering the welfare of a child and aggravated animal cruelty. Troopers were first called to her residence on Weaver Road to investigate a gunshot complaint last Tuesday. Through investigation, it's alleged that she fired the fatal shot in front of a kid. She was arrested and released with appearance tickets. She's scheduled to appear in the town of Yorkshire court next month. Well, Simone Biles won a second medal at the Olympic Games in Tokyo today. The 24-year-old took home bronze in the women's balance beam competition. Her performance marked the celebrated gymnast's return to the floor after she withdrew from events during a disappointing showing during a team event last week. Biles, who is often called the greatest female gymnast of all time, said she had a case of the twisties. That's when a gymnast used to describe a condition where they lose track of where they are spinning through the air. Many fans and experts lauded her for prioritizing her mental health over competing. Biles has now won 7 Olympic medals overall. She can't add to that total until 2024 because the balance beam final was the last event in Tokyo she qualified for. Gymnasts from China took home gold and silver in that event. Well, it's the start of a new month and rent is due for many. Federal eviction protections now expired, with millions of Americans potentially facing homelessness. Isabel Rosales breaks down the push on Capitol Hill to provide relief and the group of tenants who are disproportionately impacted.
The United States may be barreling toward its next crisis, housing.
Where am I going to live in the next 2 months?
The CDC's federal eviction moratorium, designed to help stop the spread of COVID-19, has expired. An estimated 11 million Americans are late on rent. Already struggling to pay the bills, they may soon be out of a home. Black and Latino tenants are disproportionately impacted.
How are you going to pay your electricity, cell phone, food? It's hard.
The Supreme Court had allowed the moratorium stay in place until July 31st, but Congress would need to act. Democrats scrambled to pass an extension before the August recess.
When it comes, though, to the technicalities of legislation, we just needed more time.
Their bill failed after Republicans rejected it.
Democrats had the opportunity to change that. They didn't. This level of incompetence that we didn't take action in February, March, April, May, June, even July.
A lawmaker who said she herself had been evicted 3 times and forced to live in her car, sleeping on the Capitol steps in protest.
I'm dirty, I'm sticky, I'm sweaty. This is how people will have to live if we don't do something.
Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez blasting her own party for ignoring the looming deadline.
We cannot, in good faith, blame the Republican Party when House Democrats have a majority.
Some Democrats are now shifting their focus on getting existing federal money into the hands of those who need it most. In Washington, Isabel Rosales.
Isabel, thank you. The Biden administration allowed the moratorium to expire Saturday, saying it didn't have the power to stop it. The president is urging state and local governments to use the Emergency Rental Assistance Program and money from his American Rescue Plan to help prevent evictions. While the federal eviction moratorium has ended, at least a dozen states from California to New York have passed some form of eviction protections. Well, things are about to get pretty nutty. Celebrate all the nuttiness today on August 3rd because it's National Grab Some Nuts Day. Almonds, pistachio, pecans, and many others are a large part of our diet, sometimes used as a topping or as a standalone snack. Some nuts can provide necessary good fats, while some are filled with minerals and nutrients. Nuts also have a long shelf life, and they're easy to take when you're on the go. If you want to share in that nuttiness, you can use the hashtag #NationalGrabSomeNuts on social media. I'm going to get into that in probably about 10 minutes. Let us know what you think about that and more in the comment section down below. What people maybe don't know, Dakota, is every day I have nuts and cheese for lunch. Almonds, sometimes peanuts that are in there. It's those little like fast break packs because we're always moving at a million miles an
So
hour.
are you like the slap chop guy? You're going to love my nuts.
You're going to love my nuts.
You know, the slap chop.
No,
but
chop them up, put them on some ice cream.
But it's like, I love dry roasted salted peanuts and pistachios too.
Oh yeah, don't forget about pistachios.
Pistachio ice cream, anybody?
Yeah, I love pistachio ice cream.
The only problem with the pistachios though is that they're really expensive.
Yeah.
But I'll take peanuts though, or cashews.
Take me
I
out
like
to the ball
cashews,
game.
too.
Grab
Almonds.
some peanuts. It's great to see Isabel. Good to see Rory. Great to see Marcia and Brandon as well. Hopefully you all are having a good day. We appreciate you tuning in. Well, now let's get a full check of our weather forecast with Mr. Hunter. And it's not such a nutty forecast. It's pretty nice out there today.
No, you're not going to need the nutcrackers out there. But one person who did get a little nutty is our own Sean Sweatman. Let's take the graphics. And he has put new decals on his Storm Chase vehicle.
Ooh, those look good.
Yes. Do you notice the two logos right there? The WNY News Now logo right there, and the First Defense Weather logo slapped right on his hood there on his Storm Chase vehicle. And of course, on the side, of course, you talk with Weather Today. I mean, he partners with us, he pilots this thing. And again, the same thing we talk about all the time. Yeah, but don't go out if you've had the proper training. Sean has been trained for many years. He knows what he's doing. There's a lot of equipment on board this thing, and he knows how to stay safe. So please don't go out and storm chase unless you've had the proper training. And of course, you can always share your weather pictures or anything you want to share with us using that hashtag MyLocalWX. Actually, I should rephrase that. Anything weather related you want to share with us. Use that hashtag MyLocalWX, at least for us in the weather department. Now, how about this morning? It was a chilly start to the day. 49 is where we started the day here in town. 46 in Randolph. Want to go lower? How about 41 in Bradford, 57 in Fredonia, 59 in Dunkirk. So it was a chilly morning. And if you're not a fan of the cool air, it's going away. Don't worry, but if you are a fan of it, say goodbye to it because it's going to be going away. You want more vitamin C? You got it for today. Get out and enjoy the sunshine that's out there. Scattered storms return in the afternoon, both Wednesday and Thursday. The muggies will be on the rise as we've been talking about, and the heat is on as we go into next week. You'll see that on the 7-day here in just a minute. Just a few cumulus clouds downtown from the HD News Now cam. Right now we're at 73 as a noon hour, variable wind of 7, and the dew point still low at 53. So with the dew point low, that means we don't have to worry about that heat index out there. But as we talked about, the heat is going to be building. It's going to be moving like this from west to east. The heat's building, and this is over the next 8 to 14 days. And you'll see here by the middle of August, already we're starting to get into this heat bubble. So we're talking the 80s are going to be returning, and that gosh darn humidity is going to be returning as well. Satellite and radar composite across the northeast, basically showing nothing. We've got high pressure built in across the eastern Great Lakes. This is out the cold front that moved through the other day. But as the humidity rises, we're also going to increase the chance for showers and thunderstorms. And Future Scan is painting that idea. Dry for today, a few clouds dotting the sky tonight. Partly to mainly clear through the evening, then a few clouds will start to thicken up overnight. Now, even though Future Scan doesn't do a good job plotting this, there will be a chance for a couple scattered showers or thunderstorms through the afternoon hours tomorrow. You know how they work. They pop up and fall apart at random times during the afternoon. So the zone forecast temperatures likely today lower to mid-70s for much of the area. It's wall-to-wall sun. Another comfy day with that southwest wind 5 to 10. The next 7 days of your life are right on the screen. 78 tomorrow And 80 on Thursday, scattered showers and storms in the afternoon, but a good amount of dry time. Friday, more humid, partial sunshine. Saturday, a better chance for showers and thunderstorms, mainly late morning into the afternoon. We should get a dry day on Sunday, and then look at that, upper 80s by next Monday. We'll take a break. Be right back.
With coverage that matters, this is WNY News Now.
I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor.
Testicular cancer is the leading form of cancer in men aged 15 to 35.
1 in 250 men will be diagnosed with testicular cancer.
But 98% will survive if detected early.
As a survivor, I believe early detection is the key. Learn how to do a testicular self-exam and other important facts about testicular cancer at oneball4tc.com.
I know what you're thinking. I need a job. I need a new career.
Well, I've been there.
I've been there.
I've been there. I wasn't happy with what I was doing. After high school, I didn't have a plan.
I just wanted to start working. I got laid off twice, but you gotta keep going.
You just need the right skills. Find an apprenticeship.
I found a 2-year IT program.
I found a medical course online.
I'm now a consultant in the tech space.
You have more options than you think. You can do this. You will find something.
You will find something new.
You're watching WNY News Now.
The longest running rodeo east of the Mississippi is opening its doors once again this week in Chautauqua County. WNY News Now's Julia Gress is hearing from the event's organizers who are eager to get fans back in the stands.
The 76th annual Gary Rodeo kicks off on Wednesday at 8 p.m. with 8 events and a barbecue beef dinner. Announcer Greg Simus was happy to return to the long-standing tradition, given everything it represents to this country.
Rodeo is an American tradition. Rodeo was born and bred from the competitive spirits of the men that tamed the Wild West, the cowboys. And so this is America. Right, wrong, or indifferent, pandemic or not, we live it every day. So rodeo never stopped. The entertainment end of rodeo stopped, but the working cowboys, and this continued on the ranches from out west to ranches here in the Northeast and the Eastern Seaboard, they continue to work every day. They rope calves, they rope steers, and they have to get on their horse every day in order to live their life.
Competitors from over 30 states have traveled to be a part of the rodeo, with some having attended the event for over 35 years. Tom Atwell, rodeo chairman, explains what rodeo goers will see this week.
They'll get to see bareback bronc riding, saddle bronc riding, tie-down roping, steer wrestling, barrel racing, team roping. New this year, we're bringing ladies breakaway roping, where they rope the calf, but at the end of when the calf hits the end of the rope, there's like a string attached to their saddle horn. That string breaks, and that stops the clock. And then everybody's favorite, barrel racing and bull riding.
After a year off due to the pandemic, Atwell, who is also a volunteer firefighter, is eager to return to the tradition, as it also serves as a fundraiser for community emergency services.
The rodeo, aside from our annual fund drive, is our only fundraiser for the year, which buys all our equipment, supplies we need, keeps the truck serviced, buys all our medical supplies. With COVID, we had to restock with a lot of new supplies, which we purchased. The community coming here is their way of helping us help them in the very end.
Julia Gress, WNY News Now.
Julia, thank you. General admission tickets are $18 and the gates open at 6 o'clock tomorrow. Certainly exciting for so many people to get back to it. Let us know what you guys think about this story and more in the comments down below. I know the rodeo is big here, and you don't really know how big it actually is. And talking to Julia, one of the big things that they try to point out is the fact that a lot of people sometimes have taken it for granted in the past that we've had this in Gary. But last year showed that no, without it. And it is one of the largest rodeos this side of the Mississippi. And right here in Chautauqua, in Little Gary.
Yeah, and if I'm not mistaken, isn't the Gary Rodeo like the biggest fundraising event for the volunteer fire department and the village itself?
Yeah, so it has a lot of really great beneficiaries to it. And like they mentioned, the fact that this fire department wouldn't be able to respond to those 2 in the morning calls without having that equipment and gear because that's their funding, right? It's through fundraisers like this, and those firefighters, obviously they're volunteers. They don't get paid to do their work, so that's a whole nother level of incredible, and we really thank them for their service at the end of the day. It's great to see Willie, good to see Judy, Jessica, and Donna joining us here on the noon live stream. That's going to do it for us today. Of course, news does continue 24/7 at WNYNewsNow.com and on our mobile app. Of course, watching reaction and what's going to happen following Governor Andrew Cuomo's investigation into him and the AG's report today. We'll, of course, continue to follow that and bring updates to you live on our site and mobile app. Have a great day.